The screaming didn't stop. It echoed through all 5 diners at once, 5 lonely roadside stops scattered across the United States, each hundreds of miles apart, yet somehow connected by one terrible thing. The windows rattled. The doors slammed shut by themselves. The neon signs flickered, spelling different words, words no one wanted to see. And in every diner, 5 glowing figures stood behind the counters, staring with empty white eyes at the travelers trapped inside. No one knew how the ghosts got there. No one knew why the diners had awakened on the same night. But the people inside, they understood one thing. They were not getting out alive. The ghost closest to the boy, Adam Miller, age 15, leaned forward. Its face was gray, stretched, and soggy like wet paper. Its mouth opened too wide, as if its jaw had been broken long ago. Adam couldn't move. He couldn't breathe. The diner lights buzzed, blinking in and out like they were afraid too. Then the ghost whispered one sentence, just one, that changed everything. "You shouldn't have opened the door." And before Adam could scream again, everything went dark. Hours earlier, long before the screaming began, Adam sat in the back of his dad's car, watching the road roll past like an endless black ribbon. They had been driving since morning. His dad, Michael Miller, was a truck driver who took long-haul trips whenever money was tight, and this time Adam had begged to come along. He loved road trips, the gas stations, the weird signs, the open sky. But tonight felt different. Even the sky seemed heavy, like it was holding its breath. "Hey, champ," his dad said, tapping the steering wheel. "How you holding up? You haven't said much in a while." Adam shrugged. "Just tired. And hungry." His dad laughed. "Same here. Good news is, we're close to a diner. One of those old ones with silver walls and red seats. You'll like it. Burgers, pancakes, the works." But Adam didn't smile. Because even before his dad mentioned the diner, Adam had felt something like a quiet tugging in the back of his mind. A strange chill in his stomach. And then he had seen it, a sign on the side of the road glowing through the fog. Mabel's Diner, open 24 hours. But when they drove past it, everything inside the diner was dark. Chairs were flipped over. The sign flickered like it was losing power. And something, was standing in the window, watching their car go by. Adam shook his head quickly, trying to get the image out. "Dad, are we stopping there?" "No, not that one," his dad said. "This one's called Harper's Diner. 2 more miles." Adam let out a breath of relief. He didn't want to think about the figure in the window. But the weird feeling in his stomach didn't go away. As they drove, the fog thickened until it looked like the road was floating through clouds. The only sound was the rumble of the engine and the occasional hiss of wind sliding across the car. Then, out of nowhere, Adam said, "Dad, do roadside diners ever close?" His dad raised an eyebrow. "Not the good ones." "Why?" "No reason. Just thinking." But it wasn't no reason. Adam kept seeing that dark diner in his head. The way the figure didn't move. The way its face was pressed to the glass like it was listening for something. Then something even stranger happened. As they passed a large green road sign, the fog cleared for a moment, and Adam read the places listed. Mabel's Diner, 3 miles. Blue Creek Diner, 210 miles. Benny's Roadside Grill, 690 miles. Daisy's Rest Stop, 1,200 miles. The Last Station Diner, 1,500 miles. 5 diners. 5, like the ghostly figures standing behind the counters in the future he hadn't lived yet. Adam blinked. "Dad, did you see that sign?" "What sign?" "The one with the diners." His dad chuckled. "Buddy, that sign was about campgrounds, not diners." "No," Adam whispered. "It wasn't." He stared back through the rear window, trying to catch another glimpse. But the fog had swallowed the sign completely. 10 minutes later, they reached Harper's Diner. It looked normal, silver walls, a giant neon coffee cup on top, warm lights glowing inside. A parking lot with 3 cars. A trucker walking out with a to-go cup. Nothing scary. Still, Adam's stomach twisted again the second they parked. "Come on," his dad said, slamming the truck door. "Food awaits." Adam followed, but each step felt heavier. The diner door jingled when they opened it. Inside, everything seemed too quiet. The waitress smiled, but her eyes looked tired in a way Adam didn't understand. The booths were clean, but the air smelled faintly burnt, like something had been overcooked for hours. And the lights flickered every few seconds, like they were trying to warn him. A little bell rang as another group walked in, a mother with her daughter. The daughter looked about 8 years old, wearing purple sneakers and holding a stuffed rabbit. She stared at Adam as she passed, then whispered something to her mom. The mom shushed her quickly. Adam frowned. Something felt wrong with everyone in here. But his dad didn't notice. "Let's sit by the window," he said cheerfully. They slid into a booth. A menu sat already on the table, sticky from syrup. The page edges were worn, as if hundreds of fingers had touched them. As his dad flipped through the menu, Adam's eyes drifted across the diner. A trucker ate alone in the corner, shaking his leg non-stop. A woman stirred her coffee without drinking it. The waitress wrote down orders with shaking hands. Everyone looked nervous, like they were waiting for something. Then Adam noticed the clock above the kitchen door. The second hand wasn't ticking. It was moving backward. He blinked fast. "Dad." But before he could say anything else, the lights flickered 3 times fast, almost like a code. Then he felt something cold, freezing cold, brush against the side of his neck. He jumped and spun around. Nothing. But the cold feeling didn't fade. It slid down his spine, like a finger. He swallowed hard. "Dad, something's." The door of the diner slammed open so hard the windows shook. The wind howled through the entrance, blowing napkins and menus across the floor. The waitress screamed. The trucker yelled, "Not again." Adam's heart stopped. Because standing in the doorway was the exact same figure from the window of Mabel's diner. The same gray face. The same empty eyes. The same broken jaw. Everyone froze. Even the air felt scared. The ghost stepped forward, and all the lights in the diner went out. Pitch black. 1 second. 2 seconds. 3. Then a single bulb flickered on over the counter. And there was a second ghost standing there. Then another behind the booth. Another next to the kitchen door. Another blocking the exit. 5 diners on the highway. 5 glowing figures. 5 ghosts. They were everywhere. People screamed. Chairs crashed. Someone ran into a table and fell. Adam grabbed his dad's arm, but his dad wasn't moving. He was staring at the ghost closest to them, breathing fast, like he couldn't make himself look away. The ghost leaned down, inches from Adam's face. Its mouth opened wide. Too wide. And in a voice like wind scraping across broken glass, it whispered, "You shouldn't have opened the door." Adam's heartbeat pounded like thunder in his ears. Then, before the ghost could finish whatever terrible thing it was about to do, a loud banging came from behind the kitchen. Something, or someone, was trying to break through the metal door. Everyone froze again. Even the ghosts turned their heads toward the sound, slowly, like puppets being pulled by strings. The banging grew louder. Harder. Faster. Adam grabbed his dad's sleeve. "Dad, what's back there?" His dad whispered, "Nothing that should still be alive." The kitchen door bent inward. Someone screamed. The lights flashed red. And just as the door was about to burst open from whatever was on the other side, the metal door finally gave way with a horrible cracking sound, like bones snapping under heavy weight. The entire diner shook. Plates rattled. Cups toppled. The lights flared bright white for a single second before dropping into a deep red glow, painting the walls like they were covered in blood. Everyone stared. Nobody breathed. Even the ghosts froze. The door hung half-broken on its hinges now, pushed outward from the inside. A long, deep scrape carved the floor where something had dragged itself forward. The air smelled sharp, like rust and rain and something old, older than the diner, older than the road, older than anything Adam wanted to think about. A thick silence wrapped around the room. Then, bang! The bent door jumped harder this time, the metal squealing under pressure. Something on the other side scratched a heavy, slow pattern. SCRCH, 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 as if dragging claws across steel. The 8-year-old girl with the stuffed rabbit began to cry quietly. Her mom hugged her close, whispering, "Don't look. Don't look, honey." But the girl was already staring at the door, tears streaming down her face, rabbit crushed tight in her hands. Adam felt his heart beating so fast, it almost hurt. His dad pulled him closer, placing one arm around him like he could shield him from whatever was about to come through. I don't understand," Adam whispered. "Why is this happening? Why are the ghosts here? What's in the kitchen?" His dad swallowed hard. "I don't know," he said, but his voice shook in a way that told Adam he was lying. The ghosts slowly turned their heads toward the door. Their pale faces looked confused, almost angry. The one closest to Adam's table lifted a hand as if warning the thing inside to stop. But the scratches only grew louder, faster, more frantic. SCRCH. 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 Then, boom. The metal door blasted open like an explosion. Something huge crashed into the room, something wrapped in chains, dragging them across the floor with screeching clangs. It wasn't a ghost. It wasn't a person. It was something caught between the two, like a body that had been stretched too thin and held together with shadows. Its arms were too long. Its fingers scraped the tiles. Its mouth was sewn shut with wire. Everyone screamed. The ghosts stepped back quickly, their white eyes widening. They formed a circle around the creature, whispering in voices that barely sounded human. The chained creature raised its head and stared at the diners with empty, sewn eyes. Adam felt his knees weaken. "Dad," he whispered, "we need to run." "We can't," his dad whispered back. "They are everywhere." The ghost nearest the creature reached out a hand toward it, but the creature reacted fast. It swung its long arm, chains whipping through the air, and struck the ghost so hard the entire diner shook. The ghost shattered into pieces of glowing dust. The other ghosts shrieked, an ear-splitting, wind-like sound that made Adam grab his ears. The creature roared, a muffled, horrible sound trapped behind the wires in its mouth. Chaos exploded around them. The trucker in the corner ran for the door, but a ghost blocked his path. He darted left, another ghost. He stumbled backwards and fell, landing hard on the floor. The waitress ducked behind a booth, shaking uncontrollably. The mom pulled her daughter under the table, whispering, "Don't move. Don't breathe." The lights flickered again, white, red, like the diner was in a heartbeat rhythm. The creature smashed a table in half with one swing of its chained arm. Plates shattered. The floor cracked. Adam grabbed his dad's sleeve. "We have to hide." His dad scanned the diner frantically. "The storage room," he said. "Behind the counter, there's a small one. Maybe we can." But the words died in his throat, because slowly, almost sleepily, the creature turned its head toward them. Straight toward Adam. The thing's sewn-shut mouth twitched like it wanted to open. It began dragging its chains as it walked toward them with slow, heavy steps. Adam froze. His dad tried to push him behind him, but the creature was too close now. The ghosts didn't stop it. They simply watched, waiting. The creature reached out one long hand, then stopped. Everything went silent. The lights froze. The ghosts froze. Even the creature froze. Adam's breath hitched. Then, from outside the diner, far down the highway, came the sound of a single horn. A semi-truck. Long, low, and echoing across the empty night. The creature snapped its head toward the sound. The ghosts turned too, as if listening to something only they could hear. Adam's dad whispered, "Someone else is coming." But the look on the ghosts' faces told Adam that the arrival of whoever was in that truck wasn't good news. The chained creature snarled behind the wires. The ghosts shifted like waiting soldiers. The lights died completely, dropping the diner into total darkness. And then, through the broken windows, Adam saw the headlights of a huge semi-truck sliding into the parking lot. But the driver wasn't human. He saw its face. He saw its eyes. And just as the door of the diner creaked open from the outside, letting in a tall silhouette with a shadow long enough to stretch across the floor,